In a recent video, I reiterated my positioning, my stance, my feelings on the aesthetics of this radio. It is not a known secret that I do not like the aesthetics of this radio. It's an ugly radio. One I really had no desire in owning, but the price point at this sample that I have here, I just could not pass it up. And I have to say that that would have been one of the biggest mistakes I'd ever made by passing this radio up, by not owning this radio, regardless of how I felt about its appearance, its looks. We have all heard, don't judge a book by its cover. And that is definitely something, a judgment that I made against this radio. I think from now on I will not take that positioning, or at least not take that positioning so heavily until I've actually had an opportunity to sample a radio or just reposition myself, I guess is what I'm trying to say. This radio is an amazing radio. I would recommend this radio regardless of how ugly it is. In today's video, it's not about its aesthetics or how I feel about its aesthetics, which by the way, it's ugly. I don't know if you caught that the first few minutes of this video. But your feelings, your opinion might differ than mine. You might actually think this is the greatest thing since sliced cheese. And as much as I would argue with you with that, sliced cheese is fantastic. Cheese in general is fantastic. The looks on this radio is not. But I digest. Back on topic. Topic of this radio is its workings. This is going to be hopefully a very simple, very easy repair. This radio has one issue only, not taking into the effect of its appearance, which is, by the way, hideous. But I digest and I regurgitated what I said earlier about trying not to judge its, whatever. I'm having a hard time getting through this intro. Trying to be serious here now, people. Leave me alone. Okay, anyway, let me just turn it on. Let's hear it. We'll talk about it. Let's hit the switch, shall we, on the power strip. Listen, and hopefully we'll find it really easy. You hear that?
Parent or loved one better than you. Better than the expert place for mom. Thousands of families find a place for their mom or dad.
I'm suspecting that that's a extremely simple fix, and once we fix it, maybe we'll do a band scan. Most radios use a capacitance tuning, which we're all familiar with. This radio does not. This radio actually uses a variactor diode, which is a PN junction diode, also known as a varicap diode, as well as a whole slew of other myriad of names. And what that means is, instead of using capacitance to change the frequency, this actually uses voltage to change the capacitance. This is a topic that I'm not well versed on. In fact, I did not become aware of this technology until I did my research on this radio and found out what it uses. In this radio, it uses this variactor diode along with a potentiometer, which becomes a voltage divider. So it uses a electrical tuning as opposed to a mechanical tuning. And this is done in hopes of trying to make the tuning more stable as opposed to, well, not stable. Let's go ahead and open this up, take a peek at it, and hopefully clean it and move on from there. I have the cover off, and to remove the cover, you need to remove all the screws from the back. You need to remove all the knobs and from the side and the front. Try to remove the power button if you can. If not, then you could pull the radio from the bottom up this way towards you, and the power button should pop out from the top. Once that happens, be careful, because as you see, you're on a short wire here, short leash. We'll need to unsolder the speaker in order to move all about if you need untethered access. The part we're after is right here, and this is a upside down potentiometer. Let me zoom in so you can see it a little better. And here you can see the part that we're after. Upside down potentiometer, which goes to a tuning wheel right here. Right here. I know this is really hard to see. This is all black plasticky. So I've got the gain on the camera up, lights up. I can go higher, but then we'll definitely blow things out. Tuning wheel. And here's a closer look of what the board looks like. Right here we have our chip on the radio, basically. So our tuning and our oscillator is at. So this is the part we need to clean, but while I'm here, I'm going to take advantage and clean all the other switches and parts and pieces that I can. Even though they're not causing me any issues, we will clean them anyway. Let me hook that up to a component tester, and we'll confirm that that is indeed our problem. However, before I do that, I just wanted to show you how massive the speaker and the tweeter is. The speaker is rated 8 ohms at 6 watts, and the tweeter is rated at 8 ohms at 20 watts. Here I have the clips connected for the component tester, and we're going to look at that now. That was a fantastic idea on paper. Unfortunately, in the real world, nothing's happening. So as I'm rocking the dial back and forth, I'm getting absolutely nothing going across that potentiometer. I even swapped the probes on the potentiometer from end to end as opposed to end and center, and nothing. And then I went to center and end, and nothing as well. I currently have the radio hooked up to power, or to mains, and that's it. It's not turned on. And this is the pattern I'm getting on screen. Let's go ahead and hit the button, and let's try it this time with the power switch turned on the power strip, that is. And now the radio. Let's go ahead and spin the dial, see what happens. Well, we can definitely see I'm sure that buzz is from the scope. And just turn that down. That's rather annoying. As we see the thing scrolling up and down the screen, that's from me turning the adjuster, or the tuning control. And there we could definitely see the noise. So I was on the right track as far as seeing it on the scope. It was just the wrong way of doing it. I admit though, that is kind of cool. Alright, so now that we could visually see our problem, that was me turning it off, that was cool. Now that we can visually see our problem, let's go ahead and let me apply some gunk to this, and then we'll try it again. I've gone through with Diagnostic D5 and I cleaned up all the pots and switches. Hopefully I got them good enough. I have not tried the radio, so let's go ahead and do that now. Oh, you know what? I forgot to hook up the probes, so give me just 1 second. Let me hook the probes right back up. I was wondering why I wasn't being able to see it on the O-scope. Okay, now that we got that there, let's give this a try again. Outside of the buzzing from the scope being connected, it looks good, it sounds good. Alright, let's go ahead and disconnect the scope and let's listen to it live. I have the camera repositioned and the scope probes removed. I had it hooked up here to the outside and the inside. As you can see, I have it all the way at the end of the band, so let's go ahead and do a quick scan just to see if we hear the noise.
Using the Stellar Telehelpline 866-907-3339. Red Eye Radio and Silver Tele, making your hard-working journeys more manageable. On the road, there's nothing on board more valuable than the driver. That's why Detroit has innovated one of the most advanced safety systems in the industry. Detroit Assurance, delivering exceptional control and protection to help keep our roads and communities safer. Because we understand in every driver's seat is someone's loved one, and there's nothing in the world more precious.
I'm not hearing it.
This guy is so completely enamored with me.
Handpicks the most beautiful diamonds. Following rigorous study of our founding principles.
Chicken, fish, or a burger. We've got a...
I think we're past the issue. That sounded really good to me. So let me go ahead and button it back up, and then we'll give it a try. We did hear a little bit of noise, well, not atmospheric noise, but electronic noise. So not sure how good it'll do here in the office, but we'll definitely give it a shot. I have it all put back together. Of course, you can see that. Captain Obvious here. Which means it is now time to actually test the device and see if we blow it up. And if not, then did we actually resolve the issue? And while we're testing that, we're going to go ahead and just try to do a band scan as we go. We're only going to do AM and not FM. I'm not a big FM user, but we'll definitely try AM and see what kind of DX we could pull in. Again, with it being here in the office, I'm hoping that the noise is not too terrible. It'll actually be the first time trying to use this radio in my office. Well, I mean, outside of the initial testing it out and seeing how it did. I generally use it in another room. Anyway, I do have the AC mains powered on, so all I have to do is hit the switch right here. Well, that's a good thing. Let's go ahead and turn it up. But before I turn it up, let me reposition the camera a little bit where it's more focused on the dial. The dial is really hard to see, even in person. I have a lot of light on it right now, just to illuminate it enough for you, I almost said you, the camera, but you, the viewer, can see. But I guess as well as the camera. All right, so as long as I don't hit the camera, I think we're good to go. And just in case I haven't said it, it's about 1:26 in the morning.
You're basically tied your currency is tied to theirs. Why would you want that long term? And why would you want your economy essentially tied to theirs? It's very things have in this country. But then to officially all jump in on the same boat, well, eventually they're going to poke a hole in the boat. And for Omnitrust, here's your forecast. Showers continue today on the west coast, and those showers will become snow flurries when you get into the upper elevations of the Sierras and Cascades in the west. From Seattle down to Olympia, portions of Sacramento into Los Angeles and San Diego, the entire I-5 corridor are under the threat of rain showers today. And again, as you move eastward into portions of our region of and over to Salt Lake City, preset. That same scenario, only more intense, will be set up for tomorrow. So another round, at least 24 hours of continued showers and snow for the west. Mainly clear for the central U.S. Some icing for portions of central.
At 1:30, let's continue with the quiet hours.
I can tell you so far that definitely did the job.
The evacuation notices have gone out to Upper Alpine and
That's a nice day. Tonight.
She made the comment on a taping of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. She highlighted a commitment to improve.
This is 6:60 a.m. Wingo Rock, Arizona. Everybody should get this frequency, right?
In his weekly interview, but he also is slightly missed, I think, even though he swears he's not. It's just annoying to have to answer the same questions over and over again. What about Ezekiel Elliott? What about the future of Dak Prescott? He's
of our alumni involved in ministry around the world, and our mission is to educate you in the knowledge of Christ and to train you for the call.
That's goodclearwater.com.
Hey everyone, Proactive MD has an incredible offer for our radio listeners only. Exclusive offers.
Law professor at the University of Florida.
There already is potentially a lot of confusion in tax filing this year because of all of the changes in tax filing. 2016. People suffering as we get our returns together.
Conversation by calling the Shell Rotella hotline at 866-907-3339. Red Eye Radio and Shell Rotella. What matters is inside.
Mercer Transportation, moving forward with pride, integrity, and you. For over 40 years, Mercer has provided independent contractors with the support and freight needed to make their business a success. 2018 was no exception, as our independent contractors drove earnings to a record high. To them, we say thank you. Want to move your business further in 2019? Join the Mercer team. Get the respect you deserve, make good money, and get paid fast after every load. If you're looking to make a move, consider Mercer Transportation. Visit us today at mercertown.com.
Eric Harley here. You know Red Eye Radio is trucking's best source of news and information, and now we're going the extra mile to bring you extra special content, information, and news in our new podcast dedicated to you, the driver. It's called Red Eye's Extra Mile, and it's for you, the owner-operator. It's your one-stop shop for all things trucking, from taking care of your rig to taking care of your health, to new products and technology, new regulations, and new ways to stay focused on the road ahead. We'll tell stories, bring in experts, talk about current industry issues, and discuss the things that matter to you. You can listen while you're driving. You can listen while you're not driving. Tune in on demand to Red Eye's Extra Mile, a new trucking podcast from Red Eye Radio, available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify, and, of course, our website, RedEyeRadioShow.com. Tune in on demand to Red Eye's Extra Mile from Red Eye Radio.
Hi, I'm Dave Compton. For over 30 years, you've known the Trucker as America's most read trucking newspaper.
I was kind of hoping they'd ID.
You watch me and my co-host, Jessica Rose,
as we bring you the only weekly news show created just for truckers. Join us for all the breaking news affecting the trucking industry, along with our awesome Rib of the Week profiles. At trucker.com, you can link.
That's refreshing.
Of sorts. First of all, teachers have the right to religious expression in the schools. In this famous case that set that standard said it's neither teachers nor students surrender their rights to freedom of speech at the schoolhouse gate. Now, the teacher can't lead a religious exercise. If you could send the inclusion policy into the ACLJ offices and ask why sort of visit us online at aclj.org. That's aclj.org. That's the being place for a middleman. His constant conjuring entices people to look at me, he's tireless.
También. Entonces, es tomar el compromiso. Sí, me gustaría pasar mi vida contigo o parte de mi vida contigo.
It appears the needle's a little off.
Esta última parte que yo dije.
That should be down a little bit.
Isn't quite what we're used to, but you've got the fantastic work ethic. And then...
Plus, if you're not satisfied,
Yeah, and what makes it hard to discipline
was forced to stop drinking. But the doctor's report was even worse. It was cancer. And it had spread beyond control, and the doctor gave Joe less than 6 months to live.
It would overflow. So just as like after behaviors, it's just kind of, you're just another person in the congregation wanting something from him. Instead of being accept him with the secret that is
squandering life in
And for the 5th year in a row, they've also ranked us highest in the nation for mortgage servicing. Rakefield, another...
ayudarlos que, sí, bueno, que no tienen para pagar la gasolina, para llevar al niño a la escuela.
if for nothing else, to prolong the charade of Jerry Jones and Jason Garrett. And it's not that I think Jason Garrett is a bad coach by any means, but at this point, usually, bang your head against the wall enough times, teams are ready to make some sort of a move, usually in the name of making a move, which is not always.
Well, it's time we change our imagery. So we're going to try to be a better company. I don't think anyone would have a problem with that. And they could have even copped to the fact that they used to run sexist imagery in their ads, and they could have said, you know what, this was a little bit harassing, this imagery. And you know, the image of the guy in a towel, and then this mystery woman comes and starts stroking his face.
That's bizarre. It's dysfunctional. But, you know, there's a truth to it. But you know what? Why is that? And I have a theory on it in one respect. You know, when it comes to...
That's it, the General Electric Super Radio number 3. I know I've beaten the aesthetics of this radio up a lot in the beginning. Without keep beating it up, I won't tell you how much I really do dislike the appearance of the radio. I do appreciate the performance of the radio. It really is a workhorse. Unfortunately, inside the office does it absolutely no justice. I may have to take it out to the living room and demo it in the living room for better performance. Unfortunately, the lighting where I'm at is not that bright, so I would actually have to dig out studio lighting for that to happen. I don't know if I'm all that thrilled about doing that, but you never know. Stranger things have happened. We set out to fix the radio, and I think we've done just that. So if you have a radio like this that is making the same type of noise or have the same type of issue, or you have another device that's doing something similar, it turned out to be just a quick squirt of deoxit. That resolved the issue. The original seller I bought this from, that was their complaint as well. Couldn't tune the band, but when you did and you settled for a frequency, it was fantastic. And that was, I believe, the reason why he was willing to sell the radio so cheap, because of the problem. Bad for him, good for me, I guess. All right, well, this will conclude the Bandscan and the easy repair of this radio. Hope you guys enjoyed. Apologize, the Bandscan was not as strong as I'd hoped it would be in the office. I'm going to have to go out and resolve all this noise in here. Get rid of all these switch power supplies and go with the traditional linear transformers the best I can. Thanks for watching. As always, I most definitely appreciate it, and I appreciate your continued support. Thank you to all my subscribers, new and old. My success would not be unless it was without you. Whatever success that is. Oh, I know. It's because I'm almost at 1 million subscribers. I set out to hit that 1 million mark a year ago, and dagnabbit, I am so close. Thank you. Thank you, each and every one of you. By all means, go out and buy yourself a drink and, I don't know, pizza or something. Send yourself the bill. I won't pick up the tab. But thank you. Catch you in the next one. Bye.